I got to talk. I got to tell what I feel. I got to talk about my life as I see it. Biggie. Biggie.
What is up, you clowns? Back at it again with yet another episode 019 of This Is All That Matters podcast. Our host, Charlie Green, Mr. No Nickname, here with my esteemed colleague, Greater Than Goodell, Special Decisions. What's up, man?
What's up, dude? I'm glad to be back here with you. Thanks for having me. We've had some internal strife within our podcast and our relationship, but that's what happens when you trade away a guy who gets 35 points. And then you
I
just
don't
can't
think
let
that
it
you
go.
can. I don't think you can determine the outcome of a trade after 1 week.
No, you're absolutely right, man. I feel I got some good players, but one of them had to get a knee injury the next day. What was that? What
It's
the hell was
unfortunate.
that?
It's unfortunate.
Unfortunate for me, not for you.
Oh, well, nobody
Just
wants
sit
to. I
the
don't want to do
guy.
it.
Sit him. Just sit him. Can we do
Well,
that
they
next
can't
time?
sit him for this game. They should have sat him so that he could play in this. It's the biggest game
I
since.
guess maybe they just wanted him to run a lot of routes, man. It's going to mess up his
What a
his
waste.
YPRR.
Oh, just
Not
remember,
gonna
buy
look as good
low.
after
Next
that
year
game.
in the draft, it's not going to look so good. Buy low.
So it's great to trade, and then the guy becomes a buy low. That's what she wants. Bunch of buy lows,
Well, you don't have to buy
sell
him anymore.
highs.
You have him.
It's great. It's really exciting. Listen, he's a good player. Hopefully, he can salvage my season. Just having a lot of trouble, and we're, I guess our friendship will survive. We'll see. We already had a rough morning. I made some jokes. And joke, Charlie, why are you picking up my handcuffs? Haven't I been through enough?
That's a pretty funny
That's
joke.
you, me, and Willis. That was funny. Then you rolled your eyes, and then you said, "Sorry to hurt your feelings. Just trying to play the game." And then it was really on because
You're
that
very
was
sensitive.
that
at the
was
moment.
condescending.
And I was
Sorry
worried.
to hurt your feelings. You hurt my feelings. Made a joke. You can't hurt my feelings with a pickup. For the record, but you're feeling yourself so hard that you're just out here assuming you hurt people's feelings with your pickups. I made a cranky joke.
I think if you were me, you would be concerned about everything you say outside of the podcast because it will be used against you inside of the podcast. So my discomfort in conversing with you often is generated by the fact that you side.
Well, then
What's that
perhaps
called?
you shouldn't apologize for hurting my feelings. And then this is my favorite. Why don't you just add this to Rain Man Archive and move
To your,
along?
I believe your Rain Man, not
You didn't
Rain
say
Man.
that, but you said Rayman Archive, but you meant your Rayman Archive and move
that's
along.
what I meant.
So move along. Wow, that was incredibly patronizing behavior by you. Feeling yourself, you can't help it. You can't. It's like impossible. Some people feel themselves, and it changes their whole being and how they act in day-to-day life. I can tell with you every time I've spoken to you since Sunday.
This is the skinny Charlie
Unbearable.
theory, right? This is the skinny Charlie.
This is
theory
exactly
itself.
right. It's in action. It's just so palpable. It's hard to take. I think the listeners can feel it. They can feel it right now. They can tell.
Well, I have to say, I was offered a trade today, not via text. I was not texted about this. I was sent a trade as if we play fantasy football in some other kind of way. I was checked my pending transactions, and there it was, Joshua Dobbs for Tyler Algier. No text, nothing.
That's how it's done. It never works, though. You think that works, but it doesn't. Although, I will say, that's a trade that makes a tiny bit of sense for you and only you. That is a person who is trying to get the tiniest bit of value out of a player they are going to drop momentarily. That's what
Well,
happens.
yeah, it's about to drop trade offer right there if I ever saw one.
Exactly. Like the only person who might want him, but maybe you want to save your fab. Probably not going to go for any money though. You could get him for $1.
Well, for 31, to go from $31 to
Oh wow!
such a
Look at
desperate
this now.
trade offer.
Calling out the fab money now. Now we're
That's what this episode is about, man. We're gonna get into some transactions, man. Are you excited?
we're going to review the transactions, and we're going to review quarter season review of our predicted stayaways. Both things will be really fun.
If I had it my way, I would start with that. So because I don't have those written down, so we're gonna let you.
You want me to do it? Because I did actually, in fact, write all of them down. I didn't even get to say all of the ones. The ones I didn't say also very good.
Incredible. Let's get your victory lap out of the way now.
I'm not victory lapping. I don't have everything. I'm not victory lapping the whole thing. But let's go through the ones I mentioned that I remember in order of ADP.
Oh, ADP order. Oof.
That's how I did it when we talked, I believe, right?
I'm sure, since you remember everything.
This was easy. You agree with me on this. This was one of the easiest ones of the year. Najee Harris. What a take.
Yeah.
Josh just wants to drop him. Josh probably needs to send you a about to drop trade
I was going to say,
because he's not even playing him. If he traded, who wants him? If he were dropped, would you pick up Najee Harris?
Well, the name, somebody would pick him up for the name. I mean,
would you though? Would you?
Would I? Well, me having Jaylen Warren, probably not, but maybe somebody else would.
Such a you move. That would make a normal person would do it, and then they'd own the backfield. But you're like, I have already decided on the better player in that backfield. I don't want the other one.
Well, I will tell you.
I
will tell you my theory behind that. I think it's better to have 2 lottery tickets than one.
That's your JJ
shitty backfield.
JJ, your boy JJ's thing.
Well, yeah, he's your boy too. He's your boy first.
Najee had 10 points last week, man.
He's got an explosive rush rate of over 10%, well above the league average. 12%.
I didn't know that. That is really dorky shit. Come on.
He still looks like shit. I don't know. I wouldn't pick him up myself. That's not how I get down. But other people,
you wouldn't do it.
That's a Handel running back if I ever saw one. Either one. Brian, Mike.
Yeah, touchdown heavy. If only they could score a touchdown.
Right.
But that team stinks. That's a simple one. You know why? Bad player, bad team. Don't draft that combo.
Simple.
Not going to work. Easy. Okay. We're continuing.
Nice.
I did Amari Cooper. And that certainly have to call it a draw. I'm not taking an L.
You're not taking an L? Why not? Let's see where he's at.
You can ask Ben how he feels about having Amari Cooper.
Well, having somebody feel a certain
maybe
way
we need
Amari
to make
Cooper
it a mailbag.
And have it be a stay away is a different thing.
Well, no. What do you mean? No? If you drafted Amari Cooper, if it's a stay away, you don't want to draft him. If you drafted him and have had success, Amari Cooper has 40 points in 4 games.
He's not on the first page. He's not on the first page.
So was he drafted and obviously they have the excuse of the quarterback was hurt last game, but some players produce in those circumstances, not Amari Cooper. But the point being,
he's on the same page as Jamar Chase. Yikes. Jeez Louise. What a fall from grace.
It's a different
situation.
Okay. You see, he said, "I'm always." When Jamar Chase said, "I'm always fucking open."
You know what? People. I think I was a little upset by that because I think people really took that to be an aggressive thing. But the poor guy, he even apologized for his profanity immediately afterwards.
Yeah, he seems nice.
Seemed like a nice guy.
With Jamar Chase from me.
They make him seem like a mean
Ben
person.
Wants to trade him. I'll take Jamar Chase off Ben's hands.
All right,
I don't have any problem with him. Seems like a nice guy, very talented.
Very talented young man.
And he's open, and he is right. He's open.
He
looks open to me. Yeah. Some people just look really open.
It's just Tony Romo can't get him the ball, bro. Tony Romo squared.
Is that what Joe Burrow is now? Tony Romo?
That's what it feels like to me. I don't know what he looks like to you. But
Huh. I thought he was better than Romo.
That's not. He's a little better
Tony
than
Romo had
but
ice in his veins.
same kind of thing. You know.
Weird situation going on there. I can't decipher that one. I don't
Well, he's
watch that.
hurt. Coach sucks. Coach sucks, and he hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah, he is. He hurt. He hurt
He
me.
hurt. You hurt, dog. Oh, he hurt me. That was shout out to XFL.
Does he hate me? But close.
Oh shit. Whoops. Oopsies. Close
So
enough.
Amari Cooper, I'd say you call that a draw. I'm not.
That's a
taking the
push
L on
right
that.
now. He's a wide receiver 3, drafted as a wide receiver 2.
Yeah, right. I mean, I could take the win, but I
Made some
certainly
nice
won't take
plays.
the
I mean,
loss.
he had that huge touchdown taken away from him too. I'm not saying it's a win for you, but it's
Well,
closer
I
to an
lost
L
to
than it's a
Ben.
win. You know?
No, I disagree. You said he was a wide receiver 3 right now, drafted as wide receiver 2. That's closer to a win for me.
Stay away though. I don't know. But all right, go.
What, you have to hit perfectly? What, are they all going to completely fail? You just have to. It's not
Marginally less value
ADP.
is a success.
It's a tier wide receiver 2 to 3. It's 12 players. Jury's out.
Jury's out still. Okay.
DJ Moore.
Ooh. Thanks.
I have to come close to taking an L on that one. He's had a couple of good games.
Well, where's he at? He had
play.
a good one this week. Has he had one up until then? No, I don't think so.
He had a good game before that. 2 games in a row.
Oh. All right. Well,
I think he has more
amazing.
points than Amari Cooper.
He could change teams, change places in the country, change quarterbacks, change uniforms in just the same exact season over again. Amazing.
Yeah, it was actually quite predictable. He does not demand the ball, but he gets the ball because he's talented. He has 50 points. He's coming off a great game, and he's had double-digit points in 3 straight. So, I think that would be not a win for me. That's an L for now.
It's an L. Okay,
I'll accept that L, and I like DJ Moore more than Amari Cooper.
Well, he's a good player, I think. So,
well, let's finish it out. Alexander Madison.
Ooh, let's both toot our horns.
He's been a little bit better lately, but I don't feel like he went early. We should look at where he went. Sean really jumped out of his face to get.
It's round 2,
points.
right? Or round 3.
So now
Mixon and then Madison.
40 points. Yeah, it's just in our league especially. You're taking a guy with just very limited upside. And it hasn't even gone that bad for him. It could go worse because he could easily lose the job now. Like, he's had the job and he has 10 points a game. Right. What happens after that? What happens if Cam Akers, if you lose your job to Cam Akers, not a good look.
He's a backup quality player. This always has been. So I don't know why we expected that to change all of a sudden. Strange.
Yeah, that's right. It's strange. It is.
It's like, oh, look at him. He's got the job now.
That's it.
That's part of
it's job focused.
The backup running back thing on the waiver wire thing sometimes. But anyway, okay, that's it. That's all you got.
No, we're 4 in, so I'm getting 3 wins, 2 wins,
3 and 1,
1 draw, 1 L. We're 2 1 and 1.
2 1 and 1. Okay.
But now it gets fun. Now it gets really fun because next up, Mr. Darren Waller. Come right up. Easy W. How's my football? What's up with him? What's wrong? Why can't he get the ball?
I don't know. His attitude seems to be really bad, too. I watched some of the post-game stuff after Monday night, and, man, was he separating himself from the team. He was talking about they, them, and that, and all this shit.
Oh,
them over there. They put this in front of me.
That's
all
what
I
he
can
did.
Do. Some shit like that. Yeah,
you can learn a lot, just like you can learn, as we discussed, from watching players stand on the sideline with their helmet on, looking like cranky little babies.
He also made mention of
LT did that.
Oh,
remember that when LT did that? You don't remember when they lost to the Patriots in the playoffs?
Oh, he was a Jet,
and he when he was a Charger, and he was hurt, and they didn't let him go back in. And he just spent the whole sideline standing there, look with his helmet on, looking really cranky, and then he dissed Belichick. Remember, he said they have no class, and maybe that comes from their coach. Good line though.
Cutting, like, I don't know. Maybe it comes
LT.
from their coach. I'm not sure.
Yeah, good line. But anyway, love LT. I don't hold that against him. That was one time. But Darren Waller.
Waller also, I thought you should know in this post-game interview, he also made mention of things that he can do in this league that everybody knows that he can do in this league. And I would push back on that and say, you ain't had but one season. That was okay.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what kind of anyway, it's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. He hasn't been good for a long time. And everybody wanted him to be good because the Giants are that was a good one too. That was a dominating camp one.
Yeah.
And everyone forgot. I think I said this to Fish. Everyone forgot the Giants haven't covered a tight end in a decade.
Right.
So I was like, oh my God, they can't cover him. And are we sure that that's a him thing? Or is that a them thing? That's where he got the them from. They couldn't cover me.
They over there.
Loser. I mean, there's not a person. That one's an easy W because there's not a person in America who is glad that they took Darren Waller. No one.
Nobody.
And I mean, I think how many points does he have? He probably has 20
You reach
points.
out to your boy Franklin? What's your boy Franklin? What's he got to say?
No, we on our college group text, we were, we were just talking about the Giants. It wasn't about him specifically. And then I said, well, this is what happens when you build your offense around Darren Waller. After Monday, which, I probably repeated that line. And then Franklin said, Waller is killing me.
Yeah.
And I was like, but at least you got your guys, Frank. Because that's what he
said.
Go get
your guys.
Like, I made a point. Took Darren Waller like a pick before. And like, not that he's been that good, but he took him like, literally, I took Devontae Adams. It's the second round. And then he took Darren Waller. So weird.
Oh,
that's a real. I have to say, and I mean to say this to him, the next opportunity I get, but I think that's the all-time worst fantasy pick I've ever been around.
Whoa!
What do you think? It's a good one. That's really rare. You got to go
really
because when you go really high, and you pull this
right because really high doesn't necessarily
Normally people go by the book there.
Yeah,
when you're really high. Like
round two, that's crazy.
And it's like fine if you go by the book. Like, listen, there are bad picks that happened all throughout the draft, but they're right, exactly. But it's like this is what it's like. Tony Pollard in the draft. Tony Pollard, Devontae Smith, Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, Darren Waller, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs. Like, that's just so clear. Like, one of these things, it does not belong.
Yeah, one doesn't.
Right? Like, not that Joe Mixon's that good either, but, there's at least that's defensible. Yeah. So, I know it's another league. So we don't need to talk about it at nauseam. What's the new name? It's tier 2 unfixable.
Tier 2 unfixable. Too many mentions
like,
in one
it's
name.
like literally you could hear him saying it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a good
like
name.
Either tier 2 or unfixable. You can't do like the two references in the one name thing.
I think it's a bit of a, I'm in first place. Check me out kind of thing.
Right.
Keep changing my name. Don't forget, it's me up here.
Right. Well, all that's going to run out. So don't worry.
What, the names or his first place?
Both things.
Both things. Ooh, whoa. Shots fired. Feeling himself chair.
Yep.
That's where it is. The high.
I might as well lean into it. I might as well lean into
type? How do you type when your chair's so
I can't. I use the voice. I use dictation.
You use ChatGPT voice recognition.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Last day away, the most fun one. And I don't know that I can take a W yet, but certainly I am not taking an L. Well, you don't take your L's too early because Calvin Ridley looking like a bitch right now. When you watch him too, you know what I mean. He hangs his head a lot. He walks around. He looks sad. He looks a little sad.
Moping and owie. It's all owie and moping. That's it.
I didn't even watch the London game, and that's what you saw.
Because the whole thing.
Game 3, Game 3 was just like that. He's like running into the hole. He just looks hurt all the time, and he's constantly like shoulders. He's not gonna make it through the year. He's gonna retire. Years done. I don't know. He looks pretty sad, and he drops a lot of balls too, man.
Oh, what a disaster! Poor Trevor, man.
I mean,
they gotta get a weapon. They gotta get a real weapon. This was a Band-Aid. This is what a bad decision this was.
Well, it seems fine. I mean, he hasn't been terrible from that perspective. It was just like the hype was high. He could still, like I could still take the L on this one.
You could,
but the victory laps that I had to endure week 1 in person via text.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh my God! How did Calvin Ridley do? Come on, tell me.
Oh, they really came for you on that.
They really did. Oh, but Christian Kirk makes more money. You know what Christian Kirk does? He has more fantasy points. More fantasy points. How about that? Fewer touchdowns.
How much? Too. How many more points?
Let's check it out. Not many. Not many, but some.
You're implying that it was a lot, but I don't think it's very much.
He has more fantasy points. He has 44, and Ridley has 40.
Okay, all right.
Well, it's funny. What do you mean it's funny? It's 4 rounds difference in ADP.
What do you mean it's
Hold
funny?
on.
I didn't say it's funny.
It's 4 rounds difference in ADP.
Up.
This is why that was ridiculous. One went in the 2nd round in our league, and the other went in the 6th round in ours. That is 40 picks of ADP. Obviously, it can happen anywhere, but
incredible.
Is it? I mean, he makes more money. He's younger, and he's nicer. He's likable. I'd throw him the ball.
You throw him the rock.
Calvin Ridley coming on. No, wait, 8-101. And then everyone went crazy. Dwayne, your boy Dwayne. He's like,
congratulations.
Wow, you got a wide receiver 1 in the 4th round. That guy can't even take it.
You got to be careful when you do stuff like that, man. You got to be real careful.
You do. You really do have to be really careful, especially when people like us are around. Ooh. You should just be around to critique other people's podcasts.
Isn't that what people do on the social media these days? They
that is what people do.
The video and they do. Well, that'd be fun. Maybe we could start that.
That's it. Like, we can start our own podcast. That's what we do.
We can. Shout out to us. Well, that.
No, wait. It was really quick. Oh. He 8 for 101. He followed up with 2 for 32, and then 3 for 40, and then 2 for 38.
And a touchdown.
Yeah, one touchdown in there. It was a blown coverage too.
Well, Trevor, I watched the post-game interview, and they talked about that.
You're really watching a lot of post-game interviews, but you got a lot of time. You don't even watch. I watched the game and the post-game.
Well, I watched the whole London game, and I immediately watched the on-field interview afterwards. Whatever. And
was it London game at 6:30 your time?
Yeah, I was up. I watched every snap.
Where were your kids? Were they like eating cereal?
They're sitting there with me. Just playing whatever. Y'all do whatever y'all need to do.
What do you do when you're watching football and your kids are around you? You're like,
I do weird yelling that I always do. I do all the weird shit that I always do.
I do. I stand. I just go right up to the TV.
Eli's so funny. Eli does the same thing. He stands on the table. He'll be watching like a cartoon though, but he'll like stand on the table, on the coffee table, staring at the TV. I'm like, yo,
my kids really get
my
close. Son. My kids get so close to the iPad. Yo, back up! I like try and separate them.
Chill out, dog. Not going.
Good for you, man. It's not gonna help you.
Oh man. Crazy.
That's it
for you.
So wait. We didn't recap the numbers though, because that's with the Waller. That was 3-1-1. What do we say, Ridley? Is that a draw or is that a W?
I think that the jury's still out. Sort of. I would say
3-1-2. You're lucky.
3-1-2. Yeah.
So. But listen, Sam's out here. He's got his boy Jake Ferguson. One of the pickups of the year in real points. Puka, Kyron Williams out here balling.
Yo, that's a perfect segue because we were going to do some transactions. By far, not by far. But I have this as Sam's best waiver move of the year, and it was $35, and it makes a ton of sense.
You have the number one waiver move as Kyron.
No,
That's
for
it.
Sam. I obviously,
For
it's
Sam,
way
you got
up
one
there.
for each person.
I mean, it's hard to say it's not the number one.
No, I mean by the dollar, it probably is because he's been awesome. He's a top 5 running back
For sure. So
I
congratulations
think
to
that as a
Sam out there. Nice
transaction,
move.
it's very
Nice
good,
move.
and it probably won him at least he beat me by 15, and Kyron had 26. So that's how you get a win.
It's amazing. Good for him. Congratulations. First, I'd like to start off. So I took some notes on the transaction. I'll give you. I don't know if you reviewed before, but a couple of trivia questions before we get into it.
Okay.
I
have not reviewed.
Who has the most transactions to this point?
Most transactions, that's typically there are only a few people that could be. So that's going to be either me, but I spent all my money on one guy. But me, I'd say most likely not me, though, given that circumstance. So Willits or Brian. And maybe you're coming in there, but I'd say Willits or Brian.
Oh, man. You got the top 3. You nailed the top 3, but in the wrong order. You figure out the order.
So is it Brian, Willits, me?
Nope. Charlie.
Oh.
Leader in the clubhouse. 23 transactions so far this season.
Wow.
Next up, Brian with a strong 19. A lot of them have to do with Gus the Bus. And
you spend all your fab $1 at a time, man. I told you where he said to me, he was like, he was really upset about his injuries, and he was like, man, Rodgers, then Nick Chubb, and then Gus.
and then the Gus Bus. And then Willits rounds out the top 3 with 18.
Wow, look at me. I used to always be one.
Well, you spent all your money, so I'm pretty sure that's a big reason. You are still 4th. So even ever having spent all of your money on the first transaction of the year, you're still 4th in transactions with 14. Least amount of transactions, you can guess this one too.
Josh, easy. Guess it. Always.
Easy.
Always it's Josh.
Can you guess which player is involved in 3 out of the 5 moves?
Out of Josh's 5 moves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. Jacoby Myers.
Ooh, look at you. So we have a pickup of Jacoby Myers, and then we have the same day, 6 minutes later, we have a drop of Jacoby Myers.
I thought because I picked him up. And then I dropped him.
And then we have another ad of Jacoby Myers.
Man, hey, listen, it's a good one transaction.
The 13th of September, man, it's going down.
Josh really always strives to have the fewest amount of transactions. And as we always say, this is exactly how people are opposite with their fab money and their real money. Josh, his goal is to spend as little of his fab money as possible. He wants to finish the year, even though it makes absolutely no sense. He wants to finish the year with $100. And one of the cheapest people we know, or at least most careful. I don't think people think of me as cheap anymore.
No.
Thoughtful with money. I spent it all on day one.
Well, I think you can tell what kind of state Josh is in. He thinks of his team because he's already spent 16 of his dollars. So you got to feel like he's real. That's like a big deal for Josh. Shout out to Josh. Sorry we left you off the insufferable list. That was by accident, but yet on purpose. At the same time.
Well, it means something. It did mean something.
It does.
It's hard.
I think
he doesn't win. He doesn't win with any sort of pride. He just wins and he moves on.
Shout out to Lisa.
It's the same reason, actually, why you can't make fun of Josh.
Right.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. Right. It's not fun.
Some people, almost everyone, it's really fun to make fun of you, and you are really insufferable when you're winning. So those two things are related. What is that?
Shout out to Murray. we went to dinner with Murray when I was there, and
Just
he
Murray?
wanted a whole pizza to himself. So shout out to Murray. He didn't want anybody else to have any of the pizza. And then he ate it
What's
all.
up,
He got his own
PYSA?
pizza and then he ate it all. Shout out.
Was it a
Shout out
personal
Murray.
pie or was it a small pie?
I don't know.
that's a
It's
lot
like one of
food.
those like fancy designer pizza pies. And he wanted
Sounds
the
like
whole
a
thing and he
Brooklyn-
ate it all.
sounds like a
I don't know if
Brooklyn
he got the
problem.
crusts though, but he ate it all for sure. So shout out to him. How many transactions do you think the two Handel brothers had with the Baltimore Ravens backfield?
Let's see. 7.
I can't. I don't even know if that's exactly right, but it's close enough, man. Let's go ahead and review. This is so great, man. You can filter the transactions by team. It's so fun. Let's go and check out Poopy Soupy. So we've got a lot of transactions.
You doing this? You're doing this on the computer. You're the only one. Like I haven't been in there. This is why you should be the commissioner. I have to give you that access.
I am the commissioner. Yeah.
I know. Well,
Okay.
not
you got to give me the access for sure. Okay, so we got adding Justice Hill. First waiver wire of the weekend. Brian adds Justice Hill. So we're into that backfield. Then we have an injury, and we add Gus Edwards for $42 on the 22nd.
Yo, wow.
Yo, the 22nd, okay? The 22nd, $42. Then on the 27th, we have a drop of our $42 player for
Wait, was there a game in between those times?
Well, yeah, because it's Wednesday, right, or whatever, and then Sunday. So then we have a Josh Palmer ad for $14. Then we have a Justice Hill drop. We're ready to drop Justice Hill after that as well. Now, guess what? We're back at it. Gus Edwards for $3. Adding him again. Then
it's a good discount.
There's no more addition. I think that's it. That's all we have.
So how many was that involving? That was 4.
That was 4. Okay.
Wait, add, drop. Wait, add, drop, add. He hasn't dropped it.
He has not dropped it.
Oh no, but also he had Justice Hill and dropped.
That was a Justice Hill thing. I think we're at 5.
Added and drops. That's 5.
That's 5.
And then even running back transactions.
Let's go to tier 2 unfixable. Yeah, too many names. We have a Justice Hill add and a Justice Hill drop. But guess who we dropped Justice Hill for? You guessed it. Gus Edwards.
Yes. Man. So that's 8. I was the one off. That was close. Could have gotten Keaton Mitchell. Shout out to Harris Smith, most recent transaction.
Yeah.
Keaton Mitchell. That's when you really
there were so many letters in the designation. It was the PUP I. What is that? It's the unable to perform while on IR thing. What the hell was that? Crazy designation.
PUP. I don't know.
Pupper.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I just like the IR-R. That's someone named Cooper Kupp has that designation.
I will shout out Brian. We have so far. I'm not willing to take an L really on this yet about the Baker Mayfield thing, but the $21 ad of Baker Mayfield is looking pretty good at this moment.
Well, it looked really good.
So
he had to do it, but the truth is, this year you've been fine. You could have not drafted a quarterback and survived.
Yep.
You really could have. You could have just waited, and you could have had Josh Dobbs and Baker, and you actually would have been okay. Isn't that funny?
This is 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
Last year was not like that. Last year was different. A lot of the quarterbacks at the end. Josh Dobbs, other than week 1, he's had 3 good 27, 19, 26. Unbelievable. I would not trade him for Tyler Algier.
No, I would not. I just rejected him. No text, no nothing. Just reject.
That's it. That's what happens when you send it. It's never worked in the history of fantasy football without communication.
It's got to be some sort of.
He just didn't want to do. He's like, I'm going to drop him. I'm annoyed. I'm not even going to get involved with Charlie. Charlie is going to annoy me, but I'm just going to send this on the off chance that he really wants Tyler Algier before I drop him. And you don't.
Take me out to dinner. Buy me a glass of wine. Put some lipstick on. Do something. You can't just
Put
do
some
me like
lipstick
that,
on
fish.
you. You wanted to put lipstick
We
on
need some
you.
lipstick somewhere. We can't just go straight in like this, fish. It's not appropriate.
It never worked. It doesn't work.
Never
No
worked.
foreplay at all.
It's just. I think he just did it to just insult. I think it was just an insult thing. It was just like
That's how little he wants. He's like, maybe this will work, but I don't want to deal with him. And he knows you're insufferable right now.
Right.
And he was right. He was accurate.
He's right. He's right. Shout out to Fish. We got the $31 Algier ad, but we also have the $4 Tutu Atwell ad. This is on the list. This has got to be top 5 of the year so far. Great ad for Fish.
1/25 of the price of Puka Nakua. Tutu time might be coming to an end. I think it's time.
I was having this argument in the other
Tutu.
league. Somebody was like, "Oh, I just dropped Tutu." I'm like,
I drop him.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Seems odd. It's a prolific passing offense. You want to be involved with that offense any possible way.
If anything, you keep him on the bench before you just
listen. You drop Tutu, I'm taking him and I'm playing him because I want Rams on my
just run it. Just run it.
All the Rams. Let's go, man. And I tell
quarterback.
You what, Matt is out here slanging. He's really lean. He looks great.
Well, Higbee's. Why don't you just go ahead and do the Higbee thing? The Higbee thing, you should do that. There's like no difference between Hunter Henry and, in fact, Higbee is a better play. You should just.
Well, come on. The Hunter Henry's out here scoring touchdowns. Higbee does not do that. Like Higbee cannot get to that. He gets more targets, but now Kupp's coming back.
Yeah,
Hunter Henry, there's no difference. Hunter Henry's a top 3 tight end by the numbers.
Well, this is me feeling myself again, probably. Or is this going to go in your head? So
what?
All right, Sean Merston. The one notable transaction I have is our trade.
Interesting trade. Jury's out. He hasn't gotten. He's Sean out here with the number 1 player in the history of fantasy on a record pace.
Record pace.
He has the number 1 receiver, and somehow he's 0-4. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if you
don't really want to play him,
you don't want to play McCaffrey last year. He didn't win a championship. You got like McCaffrey. He's got to win you a chip.
Well, last year he was. I mean, listen, right? You would hope he did win him one.
Yeah.
Don't get Sean angry on your high horse, man. But
I know.
This year you want to capitalize because years like this dude's out here just scoring fantasy points with such ease.
That hurdle, man. I think like they showed it a lot, but I don't think people like completely understand how ridiculous that was. The guy didn't even touch him. He didn't even get touched.
He looks fantastic.
Unbelievable football player. And like
perfect situation.
I was like, why wouldn't you remember when it was like he ended up 2-yearing Jalen Hurts, obviously, right? And I was like, I totally would have 2-yeared CMC. I was wrong. What a wrong move that would have been.
Seems wrong. And now you have Jalen Hurts because of that.
Right.
So there you go.
There we go.
Looks a little confused to me, Jalen Hurts. Always looks a little confused.
Well, on that note, talking about some trades here, what do we think a couple of weeks out, the Willits Brian blockbuster 2023? We have Jahan Dotson, Justin Fields, Derrick Henry over to Poopy Soupy. In return, I will forked myself. Dak Prescott, Devontae Adams.
Better than that when you said eggplant suck.
Yeah, you're too many eggplants for this.
I will fork myself. He should keep it as that. He should just keep it.
All these eggplants sucked in these. No, that's what it was. All these eggplants sucked in these QBs? Question mark.
You don't need to make your team into a sentence.
Right.
Antel's really on that path.
The tier 2 unfixable. It's just like, what is that, man? Come on, dude.
Yeah, like a podcast reference. Yeah, like a podcast.
Oh, man. Can we get a slash in there? Like, we have to. There's a hierarchy to this. Like, you're in tier 2 and you're unfixable. It's not like.
Oh my God!
What do you think of this trade?
I'm not even watching this game. DJ Moore already had a 60-yard catch. Oof! Fireworks, baby.
Say goodbye.
Let's
Say
do it.
goodbye to the podcast partner. Adios.
I'm not watching yet. I didn't want to do that to the podcast. And the Redskins don't have the ball. So,
well, yeah, you
let's
can't
move
wait
along.
for your boy. Your
Davey
boy.
Howell holds the football a long time. Let's see.
And I have,
Get rid
we
of
have
that
a
ball.
52. Don't ever forget the Ben Extreme ad. You get one a year. We got Zach
52
Moss,
on Zach
$52.
Moss. Oof, man.
Dropping Paris
that is a
Campbell. I have to
bad
say, that makes me think of that
transaction.
time that you free looked Paris Campbell. What's up with that, man? What kind of look did you think you were getting on Paris Campbell?
That was a real. That was, I have to say, it was a sad pre.
What was
look.
what was that all about?
Just
Man? Can you walk
look.
us through that?
Rico Dowdle, who I was holding, good player, got hurt. Didn't see much value in holding him again. Cooper Kupp probably coming back, so I might not even have the roster spot. But I said, hey, a free look. I got a free look somebody. If you're not free looking, you're not trying. What are you going to hold Rico Dowdle for? He's not even healthy. So,
yeah, but why pick up Paris Campbell, though? Of all the things to pick up.
Well, what?
Why Paris Campbell?
You name the best free look of the game, man. It was Seattle against the Giants.
Seattle's defense.
So,
a free look the defense.
Then I offer them to you for Jack Dubs.
Right.
Maybe Fish would have traded me Algier. That's what I should know. Damn it. It was really like you're out. If you look at this, like, first of all, the Seattle, all three receivers. I should have done Drew Lock. That would have been smart.
Yeah, like the
he
Paris
went for
Campbell
$1.
Literally made no sense whatsoever. But
I'm a Paris Campbell truther.
I want you to know that I saw that. Part of it was I just want you to know that I saw that go down. So
I want you to know that I'm a Paris Campbell
R.I.P.
truther.
Kyle Pitts, man. R.I.P. Kyle Pitts. That's the other thing for
I should have put him on my stay away, man. Talk about a dude who does not.
Well,
everyone wants to make excuses for him.
He was running like J.K. Dobbins was last year. I don't know if you saw. There was one play of him like running in the field. It was just like he was dragging his leg behind him, man. It's not good. Ugly stuff.
I don't know. Something's wrong. I don't think it's just the coach. I think something's wrong with him. Just guessing. When you go 3 years and you never produced in America, best game was in London 3 years ago.
Right.
With Matt Ryan.
So what kind of tight end doesn't score touchdowns? Like what? So weird.
Yeah, can't figure out how to score a touchdown. Never made a play in his life. People still want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dustin Fields and DJ Moore for a touchdown. I'm not even watching that. But that is exhilarating.
All right, so we have the thing that Willits can be really happy and sad about at the same time.
You know, he has Fields in his other league, so he's not so sad. I know that for a fact.
Now you're talking about other people's other leagues. It's a disaster. What a disaster.
Other people's other leagues. I actually know his team. You know what?
Oh.
Well, it's sad. He's stacked.
All right. Let me stop you. I think this has made it to the end here.
Is that it? That's all? The transaction is our podcasts are getting shorter, but I don't mind.
Which is fine in the middle of the year. It's great. I dig it. I don't think anybody really is upset about that.
Nobody really cares.
They already has 14 and a half. Good for him, man.
I named it for you. I told you the plays.
Willis was like, I'm not letting Mikey and you and Mikey's feelings about DJ Moore affect me anymore. He's not playing. Fuck you.
we have major sway over ADP in this league. Let's admit it.
Major sway. You especially.
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's his ADP's been deflated for years because of me. Yeah. And you know what? No one's ever, you know what no one's ever done? They never drafted Amari Cooper again. No one in this league.
He should go undrafted.
Think about it. Yeah. I mean, think about how many years he's been in the league. Has he been owned?
No, didn't he get kept? He got kept, dude.
No, well, that was at the very beginning. But since the word is out, since he's been known as the yawner, look, it's probably
the yawning was in Oakland. The yawning was in Oakland.
Right. He wasn't kept after that.
Yeah, he was kept on the Cowboys. He was kept on the Cowboys, no? I thought Josh kept him on the Cowboys.
I don't think so. But Josh will have to have to write in.
Oh no.
Write in your comments.
I can pull it up right now, dude.
it's not going to be in there. That only goes back so many years.
I'm gonna look for Command F. Amari.
Yep, that's it. That's how you do it. That is how you do it.
Search the entire all sheets. Yep, he was kept developmental keeper.
I knew that. That was when he was in Oakland. Thank you.
And then we have him as a developmental keeper again.
Okay.
And that's it. Those are the only two keepers slots for him.
You can take the L. You can take the L yourself.
Take the L.
And that was it. And Sean never had him again. And he's been owned, I know, by Fish.
Again, these players are not owned; they're managed, but that's fine.
That's you. Well, I love it. It's like when people say it on their podcast. Hey, you know what you need to do? Fantasy GMs, fantasy managers. There's a better way to talk about it.
I just want to figure out a way to make you say roster again. Could you say roster for me?
I don't talk that way.
Roster. Can I say roster? You say roster.
Roster. Only tell people that you got on before this and you said, what are you going to do? Berate me? Berate.
I think you misheard it. I think that's
I don't think so. I'm going to berate you.
Well, thank you.
Man. Another good one. Wait, remember my record. Wait, let's say record.
3-1-2.
3-1-2. To be revisited. Half year, we'll do this every quarter. I know people will be excited about that.
Week 8 coming back at you.
Week 8, week 9. Right here, where we started.
What a special.
So many things will happen between now and then.
Well, see, now our relationship is fixed again. Yeah.
Is it? I don't know. Listen, I'll just put it in my Rain Man.
Put it in your log. Put it in that weird log that you keep.
We start telling people to move along. And then you said, you have a problem. Wow. Oh, so many different high horse comments for you. You have a problem. What's my problem?
Your problem is your infatuation with the process of thinking about fantasy players. That's your problem. Want to make you better? Take a fucking Klonopin. Why don't you take a Klonopin, relax? How about that?
You know what? I just might. It's a football night. If there's football on, the percentage chance has increased.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bro. I'll try not to bang my head on the way out of here. And
That's it, man. You're going to have to jump through the skylight window.
Just to get out. Just to get out of here.
That's it. Climb out of there. You can reach it.
Oh man.
All right. All right, man. Wait.